This build order is going to give you a solid foundation to grow from. Every civilization and every strategy in Age of Empires 2 starts exactly the same way. The first 6 minutes of game time is something that you should perfect before moving on, because it's something that will be consistent between every match that you play. The rest of the build orders in this series are going to assume that you know this standard opening. This video is going to show you what you should be aiming to achieve by giving you a reference and timings to benchmark yourself against. Once you know where you're aiming, the next videos will be about how to achieve success and perfect your Dark Age start. The goal of this video is to keep things concise and just provide you with the build order without diving into the details just yet. There's a handy printout linked below this video which you can use as a reminder until you're able to memorize this completely. In the first 6 minutes of the game, you have a lot to do. Your goals are to get your town centre running as fast as you can so that there is a constant production of villagers, scout your map for all of your starting resources, and start to build a surplus of food so that you can reach the feudal age. So here we go. First, queue villagers at the town centre, and then build 2 houses. One house built with 2 villagers, and the second with the remaining one. Select your scout and start looking for sheep. Your first benchmark is to find your sheep within 30 to 45 seconds of game time. This is possible in the majority of games. In rare cases, it shouldn't take any more than 60 seconds to find your sheep, and so long as you have your sheep under the town centre by 70 seconds, you won't suffer any idle time. Keep sending villagers to gather sheep until you have a total of 6. Your next villager should go and build a lumber camp, and 3 more villagers should follow them so that you have a total of 4 villagers gathering wood. Your second benchmark is to have 11 population and have found your first boar by 3 minutes. The following villager, after sending 4 to wood, should be sent to take your first boar. At this stage, things start to get a little more tricky. As your villager is walking out to lure the first boar, your town centre gather point should be set to the berries. The villager that is created to go to the berries should build a house close by, but not blocking them. At the same time, the first boar will be coming back to the town centre. The 13th villager will come out of the town centre around the same time that the first boar is being killed. That villager should also head toward the berries, and that villager should build a mill. Your previous villager, which was sent to build the house, should automatically head over to help and build the mill. If they don't, then you should send them over manually to take the berries. 1 more villager then goes out to berries so that you have a total of 3. That's the house builder, the mill builder, and then the 3rd villager from the town centre. And then villager number 15 should be sent to grab the second boar. Your benchmark now is to have found all of your starting resources. That's 8 sheep, 2 boar, your main gold and your main stone, and ideally your deer patch. This should be done by 4 minutes of game time. After sending your next villager to take the second boar, the final villager should be sent to berries to make a total of 4. This will bring you to 17 population, and if everything went well, the game clock should read 5 minutes and 30 seconds. this is your final benchmark and the end of the starting build order. From here, things will start to vary depending on which build order you select to continue with. Now, if you're playing as the Mayans, the Huns, or the Chinese, you do have to do things slightly differently, but you will still use exactly the same order of villagers. For the Mayans, since you start with 4 villagers, you're immediately at 5 out of 5 population. This means that instead of queuing villagers, you should research loom first. With your 4 villagers, build 2 houses, and then continue as normal. If you're the Huns, of course you don't need any houses. So in this case, you should use your starting villagers to quickly scout for sheep and then continue exactly the same way. The Chinese, they're the hardest civ to start with, as they begin with 6 villagers but no food. If you start with the Chinese, you want 2 houses first, and loom since you can't afford any villagers, and then you need to find your sheep quickly and bring all 6 villagers to gather the sheep as fast as you can. The faster you can get your town centre working, the better. And your first villager as the Chinese should head out to the wood, as you already have 6 gathering the sheep right from the start. Practice this against the AI and keep improving. What you just saw was a demonstration that hit all of the benchmarks, but in order to do that yourself, you'll have to learn a few important things. In the next video, we'll start with an introduction into the basic hotkeys that you'll need to start with. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about my new uploads. And I'll see you next time.